Your car is cool. Can I have a ride, baby? Hop inside. V-Tech, baby. B18C5. V-Tech, baby. Yeah, we doing it.
All right, everybody. So it's day 2. We're still working on Project Integra. I got my buddy Cory here. He's helping me gut this car down and get this rat's nest completely out of here. So what'd you find? I heard you laughing.
Well, let's splice it when there's already a splice. So it had a quick splice in here. Down lower, you can see the evidence there, and it already had a spot to put the wire. It doesn't get much lazier than that.
No, it does not get as much lazier than that. So needless to say, the fire hazard is real on this car compared to all the open circuits I found yesterday and evidence of arcing off of metal objects underneath the dashboard. So I think I made the right call of cutting this thing down completely. So this is what we're going to be working on. I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details. If you find any more fun stuff, because it's so windy out, I don't want the wind noise to affect the audio as much. But main goal is to get all these wiring harnesses out again, get the ABS or the brake booster out of there, and see what we can do in the next couple hours. All right, so here's the update on the car. Since we started pulling out the wiring, we went a little above and beyond because the deeper we dug, the uglier it got. So this is our interior now for the car. There is no interior. The one thing I don't like about these cars is everything was hidden underneath the dash mat, and then the dash mat, which is laying over there, is just saturated with water, and we just decided to get rid of that because I don't need it in the car. We completely pulled out 90% of the chassis harness. This is the entire like floor harness to the rear hatch area. I left the sunroof harness in because I really didn't see that that would be much of an issue because no one's going to tamper with that too much. It wasn't like it was all spliced apart or hacked into. Everything in the engine bay was hacked into, which we already knew. But the engine bay is now free and clear of all that wiring. I pulled the booster out. I just got to pull that throttle cable out, as well as the cruise control, whatever the remaining portion of the cruise control cable is there. Maybe remove the power steering lines off the rack and pinion. I mean, realistically, I could drop the rack and pinion too whenever I'm ready to really prep this engine bay. What do you think about this car?
It's getting there. It's easier to start with, you know, fresh, but the hard part's getting there. So
yeah, so basically Cory and I are going to try to just rewire everything up in separate modules. So instead of having like a whole chassis harness connected to everything, it's probably going to be like a separate headlight harness for the front lights. Might go into like just having the rear light portion as well as the fuel pump, just separate modules, so that way if we have any problems with the wiring harness, we can just pull that certain module out and go from there. But I think about 60 or 70% of that harness is probably going to get eliminated.
I hope so.
So we don't have ABS anymore. I'm not going to have the airbags in the car, so no SRS units. Yeah, so see how it goes from now. But as you guys can see, we've been kind of busy. There's a lot of this stuff we're going to keep, and a lot of it's either just garbage as is or can get sold to somebody else. So if it's not a black interior piece, if you need an SRS module or an ABS module, let me know, and we'll keep you guys going. But I don't know if I'm going to make the deadline on this car that I want, realistically. I think it's probably going to take a little bit longer than I anticipate, which is typical of me. Bite off a big bullet and get a little too deep into it. So we're going to start packing this thing up, and I think start working on a red Civic soon.